Paul Sakis, Good News Broadcast. I'm speaking with Sidney Pike. Hi, Sidney. How are you?
I'm fine, doing just fine.
We just had a great interview and spoke a lot about your book, We Changed the World, Memoirs of a CNN Global Satellite Pioneer. Yay! Welcome,
Right.
welcome again. Sidney was kind enough yesterday when we got this arranged to be doing an interview with you. Was kind enough to agree to take a look at. We have an executive summary of what we call Milestone Broadcast Corporation, and that's our legal name. And our Good News Broadcast is a division of that corporation, and is our broadcasting arm. And so Sidney was kind enough, and I emailed him down, I think, the executive summary, right?
That's right.
I don't know if I sent you the business plan as well, but
I don't think so.
It is much more flushed out. I don't want to bombard you with too many things, but we have it very flushed out, actually, what that shorter version actually entails for us to get done. And we have a lot of what we think. Sidney was a pioneer in the broadcasting industry, especially the world picture, along with Ted Turner, and helped to create CNN. Let's put it out like that. And he had some thoughts that he said they'd be open to share, and he said, record it. It wouldn't hurt, I guess, and it probably wouldn't, because I probably can listen to it 10 times and hear more things. So what were you thinking on what we sent you?
Well, it fits in very nicely with the world picture on television in the immediate future, because we're going through a tremendous crisis globally because of terrorism, and the fact that certain countries are having difficulty, like Zimbabwe, with their leadership. And so at a point when the economy, which is the key at this stage, changes, which could be any time this year, hopefully, I think that the sort of thing that you have in mind is going to be a possibility. And that is in terms of funding, and not only foundations, but commercial enterprises that will have a particular interest in global economy for obvious reasons. And I think it's a matter of planning right now, because, as I said, it's not going to happen in the near future. But when I say possibility, it could start by the middle or end of this year, when those in power, those that have money, those that invest, begin to realize that the economy is going to stabilize, and they get confidence. The first thing they're going to turn to is the global market, because they know that's where the future is. And in order to enhance their product, the need for goodwill will be essential. Whether it's Coca-Cola or whatever. For example, one of the things I learned was that Boeing was advertising in China around the time I came there, and we're talking about 84, 85. And they weren't selling any planes to China, and I asked, well, why is Boeing interested here? And I was told that they build in their future, that they want to get name recognition. So they were doing advertising, not to sell the product, but just to make it recognizable. And so that's the first stage, and that's the stage that the commercial enterprises will develop. And, of course, we know the second part of that equation is the foundations that are interested in reaching large populations and giving them good programming, or the kind of programming that will enhance their welfare, and so that they can learn about other countries and other religions and increase the potential for keeping the peace.
Hmm. I couldn't agree with you more. It's
We have no argument, right?
no. I'm on the same page. I placed United Technologies advertising in Japan, within Japanese and even in China back in '85. And so, since I had a multicultural marketing and advertising company, actually started as an Asian and European communities, mainly here in America, but some international. But the reason that I did it was that I always said when I one day want to put shows into China or anywhere else, I will have at least done something for these communities. They literally had me. I had offices right in the Chinatown and in Koreatown and with the Russians and the Poles, all these ethnicities. Because the world is, and because philosophically I'm into the one world. Everybody get it together. We're all on the same page. I think so highly of what you're saying, and I agree also if we go back to your original thinking in the sense of economics of the times, where some people are showing major concerns in the sense of almost financial, this is actually a wonderful opportunity for the world to work together with this
Well, they're going to want
recess.
to very much because of what's transpired in the last years since Al-Qaeda began and the terrorism and the wars in the Middle East. They're going to be desperate for ways to communicate with one another.
I agree with you 1,000%. Actually, I will even go further, thinking that if we all don't band together, our saying here is all we are is what we are for each other. And the more we get together, then people that are, negative or do terrible things, terrorists or, the world has to kind of deal with them. But there's a lot of philosophy here.
Well, that's an interesting thing. The pirates off the Somalia coast.
Right, yes.
Well, I was a little perturbed because Bush didn't do anything. Here we are, this big country that one of the things we're well known for is sending out our Marines in the 19th century to eviscerate the pirate problem, and here we are just ignoring the situation. Well, lo and behold, the other countries got together and start working on the problem, and now they're working harmoniously in defeating the pirates.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, my God, that's good. I don't know if Bush did that intentionally, but that's the sort of thing that we're looking for.
Yeah, well, it's one world, and I think going back, at least this is always the impression that I've had with the CNN mindset and Ted's, and obviously yours as well, was a one world thinking. The world games, world this, world that. I'm personally not I'm a believer in no countries. Actually, I'm a John Lennonist, and but that's a whole nother, just a personal belief that I have, and I guess I carry it out a little bit on our Good News broadcast, trying to focus our share the people that are all helping the world do good, of which there's billions. 1 billion to one story is the positive thing. So our company is, we found this internet concept and realized that we could get not but on much more of all types of media can be done. Interactivity, everything. It's a great thing, and we've been doing it 10 years, 5,000 shows later, and of just broadcasting positive content. So we're at the point of looking now for a strategic partner, our investors, to take us to our next level of really staffing up this place, and I'm an open book. It's a for-profit company. We have a not-for-profit, also 501c, Good News Corporation, but mainly we've opened it's all good. So one of my interests is to get everybody to be part of the good news broadcast, and I guess technically that's a stock market opportunity as well, and keep it very low, the monies. So we're really, I think, in a very solid position. We built the first green TV studio. We got some equipment, like you were talking about. We go out and shoot whenever we want. We can edit whenever we want. We have a gigantic chroma key. We could put the Taj Mahal behind somebody talking here. I could probably make partnerships with because I know all these ethnic communities, and most of them are the media from the homeland. Right here in America, you can get to almost all the country's medias are the leading ones because they want to be in America. The leading Taiwanese papers here, the leading Chinese papers here, the leading Polish papers here. BBC's here, blah blah blah. So it's an amazing place. We're so lucky, and so. Now we're ready to take our broadcast and get more sponsorships for it, but I need more staffing. That's my, So how did you you took over a station, UHF station, but that was you had enough money to have enough people to run the station?
I had 29 people to run the station.
Okay.
Some people were doing 3 jobs.
Okay.
Because he didn't have any money.
Right, okay. I can relate.
How do you run a television station? You know what's involved in a television station.
I do.
With 29 people.
Right, I understand. Well, the good thing now is that, in essence, I became involved with actually somebody invested in us last year, Greg Dimitriadis, and he put in money and had a company that had some technology. Called the Players, and the technology that he had was very sophisticated, where you could actually be broadcasting just through the computer technology. So we could run a whole station just through, and you still can. This is available. The web broadcasting is, it's like don't need 100 people. You need 5 people and some good techies behind you to actually broadcast on the web.
Right.
It's a whole different ball game from when I was at CBS and at Channel 13 and worked in news, and I was 300 people walking around and busy doing what they do. But now it's a different thing. But to do it right, to do the content is kind of people intensive, right? To get the stories and to speak about them and things. There's certain areas that the newsroom always has. With our budget that we've created now, we're going to have 48 people the first year. And right now I have maybe 2 or 3 or say a half a dozen and a bunch of interns, and we've been running this for 10 years. And we do about 30 shows a week, if not more. I
don't know how you do it. I take my hat off to you. You're certainly a dedicated person.
And
by the way, remember I told you I was going to give you a surprise?
Yeah, what's the surprise?
All right, the surprise is, you've been talking about the internet radio?
Yes.
And TV?
Yes.
Well, all of last year, 2007,
yes,
I had my own 1-hour talk show on internet radio.
Yay!
And my daughter gave me a T-shirt.
Uh-huh.
Oldest living talk show host in the world.
Do you have a website?
No, I don't.
Where were you broadcasting those things?
Out of Sandy Springs, there's a man there that has a commercial enterprise, and he has a radio signal which is very weak that goes out in the local area, and he has 2 stations, one in a town about 30 miles away, and he simulcasts the radio signal with that, and that's what I did for a year. And I also wrote 3 3-minute commentaries, a lot on the politics of the year, that was used between shows, Monday through Friday.
Great. Well, are you still doing that, or have you?
No, I gave it up. I was just doing it during that year.
Oh, okay. All right. So, and where are those still up? Are they still archived? Are they on the?
Yeah, yeah.
So you need to give me the domain so I can link over our interviews to that. See, the beauty of
they're highly political. I don't think you want to use them.
That's a lot of negative energy there.
Well, I got to tell you, I had my point of view, and I was going to get it across.
Oh, well, sort of one of the sort of standards and practices that Good News has is you can't say anything not nice about anybody else. Now, doesn't sound like that.
That's why I say, I think you can forget about using it.
In any case, Sidney, do you have any thoughts for us? I mean, I cannot, I don't know.
Just as I said earlier, it's a matter of timing. And right now you're in the planning stage. Well, and you got to wait till this thing turns around. And I'm not talking long-term turning around. I think it's going to turn around this year, because it's certainly pouring enough bucks in it. So I would just do the planning, do what you need to do, and at the right time strike.
Well, I guess in my mind this is the right time. We had. I appreciate your thinking on it. We had one situation. I don't know if we'll broadcast this. We might stop or whatever. But I'm pretty open book. But I don't like to anybody else's comments, if they're too personal. But my situation is, we had somebody who was interested in I thought it was going to be a loan, but then they wanted it to make it into I thought it was going to be equity. It was going to be an investment, a strategic investment. They decided they wanted to make it a loan, and they were going to give us a lot of money, okay, because I made initially a $112 million budget, okay, and they were going to give us $130 million. And however it ended up, I realized I didn't want that much money as a loan, and then
you got to pay it back.
Got to pay it back, and not that I would have been fearful that I couldn't pay it back, because I'm probably as crazy as Ted Turner, but and in a nice sense here, I'm very optimistic about what we can do and what we will do in a good way here by succeeding in business. We own a beautiful Happy Face logo, trademarked. We have lots of different revenue potential streams with our Good News. So it's quite an exciting time for us. And I've spent 10 years and all my family's money and everybody else's, and people working for free for us, and landlords on Fifth Avenue for giving $100,000 in rent, and a guy putting in $500,000 and saying, just good luck to you. We've really had a lot. We're ready right now. Now, the question is there somebody out there? We've run across a few people that are very seriously looking at us right now to make this $30 million investment into us. My ears are open and seeing if there's anybody else who might see the opportunity for the investment. I figure that our first year we were going to spend about $8 million. We were going to make about $10 million. I already own the movie for Woodstock 20th anniversary no one's ever seen, because I did the event. I also have another great concept, What's Your Good News? And with a lot of people that were in a movie called The Secret that made $350 million. So I think we're really ripe. And so, and we have 5,000 shows, and YouTube loves us, and 7 other stations want us. iTunes, which is big time. I've really worked very hard, along with a lot of people's dedication. We got a tremendous amount of board members, many who know Ted, okay, many close friends of Ted, and so right now I'm just looking for the right kind of a partner. I'd love a strategic one in the media industry. It doesn't have to be. So that's where we're kind of at right now. I know it's tough times, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get our funding in here, and people will be be very happy for it because we have, it is what it is. It's Good News Worldwide. I have it in different languages also too, Sydney. In Good News Planet, I have it in Chinese, Japanese, and Russian and German. I have an Afrocentric Good News broadcast. I expect to do Good News China, Good News, Italy, blah blah blah. We already have Good News Israel started, and Good News Africa started. I have the consulate, the ambassador's wife as the host. I've started a television network in my mind because that's what I grew out of, CBS and PBS, so I know what a network is. The beauty, though, of a web network is that I can have 100 channels and be one channel, one home for it, but then I'm building channels for people. So the Sidney Pike channel, is a reality here. The American Cancer Society is a reality here, or the Johnson & Johnson is a reality here. A whole channel with all the good news from J&J or from American Home or from Sydney. That's the beauty of the web, and they all can come here. And we can also build in the user generation, which is why I need some money, because I want everybody's good news on good news. And user generation, just like YouTube, we should be the next humanitarian/good news broadcaster on that side, as well as a social network like these Facebook things that everybody's into. I've established it, and the next eBay to sell products, which are positive, good, healthy things. We've done 36 hours of TV programming on the subject of water. We created the United Nations International Decade of Water, so that's a big deal in the sense of the importance of the subject of water and environmental concerns, and I've been very involved with the environmental things for 50 years, and I have great people working with us, so this is our shot, and good news more than ever. As you said earlier, this is the time. I mean, there's a lot of tough things going on there. Thank God there was a miracle in the Hudson River. So the world needed that. I know America needed that, and New York needed that, and to see the positive things. So hopefully they'll milk that for everything they could, because, and I'm calling the guy in the Intrepid because we've done 100 stories on the Intrepid. We've paid our dues, and now it's time to take us to the next level only for the benefit of humanity. This is where I'm so excited because, we have the relationships. We need to build out channels for organizations doing good and just get the sponsors to, I already have 1,000 corporations on Good News. I haven't charged anybody anything, okay? I didn't think on that part of it, okay? That's why Woodstock was going to give that away for free. The thing is, now I need to get those people more involved with us, and I go back to them and start to raise monies from these organizations and corporations. But to do that, I need a salesperson who's an account person, who's a producer type person, who can actually run that account properly. I'm an old school guy. I'm not going to take on a commitment that I can't handle, just like I was working at CBS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know the difference. And because this is no kid stuff. I'm 59. My grandson gave me the next urge and purge to move this business. I never wanted a big company, okay? Me, I was a 9 or under. 10, I don't want more than 10 people, too many people. Now I'm ready for 100 million people working for Good News. So it's just different times, different place, personally also, because that's important to be a good family, responsible person and be able to take on the responsibility properly, professionally, maturely. So that's where I'm at, Sydney.
Yeah, I understand.
And I know you would, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. And that's so, these are good things.
Okay, well, it's sure been an interesting discussion.
Well, I agree with you. It is a very interesting discussion because I'm talking to a man who's been in my seat big time, and with the world of satellite and broadcast, and hopefully I'm going to talk to somebody some years from now and say I was in the web seat of trying to make a company succeed in a
I wish you the best.
Solid way. I appreciate it, Sidney, so much. Thank you for taking your sharing and whatever I can do to assist you in anything that you're up to. So what I was thinking of doing, let me just say this too, is I know you're going away for a few weeks, and we're stabilizing here, focusing on the revenue thing. But But after that, it would be nice to have you come and speak, or even down there or something, for us to organize something, videotape it, and maybe at the Museum of Broadcasting. I could ask Pat Mitchell. Maybe we can do something there. That's where I saw Ted just a few weeks ago. For you to talk about things too, and we can tape it.
I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah. And then we can get some of your books and distribute them, or however we'll work it out. But we're going to do something.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll be in touch.
Sidney, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
All righty. Bye-bye.